Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for being here. I would like to ask you about your experience with speaking examiners. And the first question is about the moment of the terrible moment sometimes of the girl or boy in the moment of the speaking examiner. What do you think the teachers can help to this student to overcome this moment without any sufrimiento and stress in the best condition?
Okay, well, I would say the best, it also brings in the argument of motivation and confidence, because I did a session on confidence building. The secret is familiarization. So what the teacher does to better prepare the students for exams is constant practice, constant exposure to the exam format for the students to have opportunity to do the same type of task, even though the pictures are different, but the same type of task again and again, and that builds confidence. They're familiar with what the exam entails, and generally with students, that really builds in terms of confidence, and it decreases any chance of stress coming from the students. I think possibly where there may be a little bit of stress is with the words that they don't know, and students want to know everything. They want to be able to say all the words in a picture. But if they learn strategies of just pointing, for example, young learner exams, I mean, with Cambridge, it's meant to be a positive experience. So they are designed to be non-threatening to the learner, and we are looking at the language they produce, not what they can't do, but what they can do in a positive way, obviously. So I think for the teacher, it would be exposure and familiarization to again and again the task on a regular basis to build students' confidence.
What kind of relation had the student in the moment of the oral exams? What kind of relation? They are happy, are worried, sad?
You get a mix, because like adults, young learners are the same. I think in the sense young learners, they are much more sincere, so they're more transparent in their emotions. They haven't learned yet the strategies of hiding it. But the exams, the way they're designed, they're meant to be ushered into the room by possibly someone that they know, a teacher or a school assistant that they are familiar with. So that means that when they enter the room to meet the examiner, they are accompanied by someone they know, so they feel that confidence. And they feel, in a sense, that they can actually look back and they don't feel scared, I think. They're accompanied by someone they know, and I think that's really important for young learners especially. But you get a mix. You get the ones that are overly confident, and then you get the ones that are extremely shy. And they have different degrees of performance. It's got nothing to do with personality, because they both tend to perform really well. It's just that initial reaction, yes. But I think the fact that they're accompanied by someone that they know is crucial. It's key in easing the candidate, the student, into the exam.
What kind of force? Force, los cambios principales, errors que cometen los alumnos en el examen oral, with the pronunciation, with the grammar, or what kind of force?
I'd possibly say it could be depending on the candidates, on the students. Possibly pronunciation at an earlier stage, maybe at a starters. Earlier in the exam phase, because you've got start and young learners, starters, movers, flyers. So maybe starters, and as they progress in the system, they become much more confident. They've had more opportunity for practice. So initially, pronunciation, yes, and then possibly as they get older or go up in more exposure to English, I would say maybe a little bit on the structure in answering fuller sentences, but the exams at this level require that we're looking at the language they produce, so at their fluency, not necessarily their accuracy. So we are looking, yes, at pronunciation. We're looking at hesitation, for example, if they're very hesitant or if they answer immediately. We're not looking necessarily of whether they've used the right auxiliary verb. If the message is clear, is communicated, then that's fine. And I think that's important also for the students to know, for the teachers to train their students in knowing that, so they don't feel, oh, I've made a mistake, there's a grammar mistake, or I've forgotten a do. And if they're aware of that, then it's fine. It's all about language they produce, and they just say words, and it's really nice.
Bien. I would like to, me gustaría que dieras algún consejo a profesores de inglés o nuevos profesores de inglés para que ayuden a sus alumnos a superar los exámenes orales y también a ir tranquilos y seguros.
Okay, I suppose that something I've mentioned before is familiarization, and that's key. It's for students to not have any situation happening on the day that is unknown to them. And for that, they would do, I'm just talking about preparation, not in terms of language, but in terms of performance on the day of the exam. So I think it's important that, for example, they run mock exams, set up the system in their schools with a colleague, for example. It's nice, and it gives students opportunities also to work with other people, and for teachers to get a bit of practice. So familiarization with the different phases, different stages of the exams, with the students, with bringing in someone that is new to the student but not necessarily new to the school, for example, a teacher of another subject, because the exams are quite low in level, that they can do it, so they will know what it's like to go into a room and see someone that they are not familiar with. But that the key is that it's familiarization for any young learner task, to build confidence and help them perform much better is familiarization, definitely. So that's my advice would be do as many as possible, not at an initial stage, but especially before the exam, and try and set up situations that are reflective of what happens on the day. So get colleagues to help you, and I'm sure there are people that are interested in doing that. And I would definitely have the child, the young learner, sit an exam, a mock exam on the day before the exam, as if it were the real thing. And they should be fine. Children are pretty good.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.